Before you buy a home warranty, there's one thing that you need to do first. Not compare prices, not look at the reviews, not even pick a company. You need to understand what's not covered. Because most of the frustration that people have with home warranties doesn't come from what's included, it comes from what they assume was included. There's a big difference between those two things. So in this video, let's walk through the most common exclusions, what they actually mean, and how to avoid getting caught off guard later. Let's start with the one that trips people up the most: pre-existing conditions. This simply means that if something was already broken or clearly on its way out before your coverage started, it's not going to be covered. Now that doesn't mean every older system is excluded. A 10-year-old HVAC system can still be covered, but if it was already failing, leaking, or not working properly before the plan begins, then that is where the issue comes in. This is why timing matters. The best time to have a warranty in place is before something goes wrong, not after you already suspect a problem. Next up is a lack of maintenance. This one is pretty straightforward, but it's often overlooked. Home warranties are designed to cover normal wear and tear. They're not designed to fix problems caused by neglect. For example, if your HVAC system fails because the filter hasn't been changed in a long time, or the water heater breaks down due to heavy sediment buildup that was never flushed, then it may not be covered by your home warranty. The basic maintenance is still your responsibility as a homeowner. And honestly, this is a good thing to remember whether you have a home warranty or not. Regular upkeep can extend the life of your systems and prevent bigger issues down the road. Another common exclusion is structural or non-mechanical issues. Home warranties focus on systems and appliances, things with moving parts that can break down over time. They don't cover things like the roof that is leaking, or foundation issues, or wall cracks, or cosmetic damages. Those things aren't covered in your home warranty. They fall under your homeowner's insurance or your general home maintenance, and it's not a warranty. This is one of the biggest areas of confusion, especially for first-time home buyers. So now let's talk about code upgrades and improper installation. If a system needs to be brought up to current building code, or if it was installed incorrectly in the first place, that's often not covered under your standard home warranty. For example, if your HVAC system fails and replacing it requires additional work in order to meet the current code requirements, then those extra costs might not be included. Again, this isn't unique to just one company. It's pretty standard across the industry, but it's something that you want to be aware of ahead of time. Another area to pay attention to is coverage limits. Even when something is covered, there's usually a cap on how much the warranty will pay for a repair or replacement. This is where a lot of homeowners get frustrated because they didn't realize that those limits existed. And that's why transparency matters so much. For example, home membership provides a coverage chart that clearly lays out exactly what's covered, along with the limits for the parts and the labor. Instead of digging through pages of fine print, you see everything up front right on that coverage chart. And that clarity makes a big difference when you're deciding whether this plan actually fits your needs. Another exclusion that surprises people is secondary damage. Let's say a pipe leaks and causes damage to your flooring. The repair to the pipe itself might be covered, but the damage to the floor usually isn't. That would typically fall under your homeowner's insurance, not your home warranty. So it's important to think of a warranty as covering the source of the problem and not everything that results from it. So now here's something else worth mentioning. Not all exclusions are bad. Some are just boundaries. A home warranty isn't meant to cover everything in your home. It's meant to help with specific types of breakdowns, mainly mechanical failures due to normal use. When you understand that going into the contract, you're much less likely to be disappointed later. So how do you avoid surprises? There's a few things that you can do. First, you should always review your coverage details before you buy. Not just the highlights, you should look at the actual breakdown of what's included and what's not. Second, you should pay attention to how clearly that information is presented. If it's hard to find or hard to understand, that's usually not a great sign. There's probably something hidden somewhere. Third, think about your home specifically. The age of your systems, the condition of your appliances, and what you're most concerned about financially. And fourth, choose a company that makes the process easy to understand and easy to use. For example, one of the reasons homeowners prefer home membership is because of the straightforward approach, the clear coverage chart, the ability to choose your own service provider, and a simple reimbursement process. Those things don't eliminate exclusions, but they do make the whole experience easier to manage. At the end of the day, every home warranty has its exclusions. That's normal. The goal isn't to find a plan with no exclusions. That doesn't exist. The goal is to understand them before you buy so you know exactly what you're getting. Because when something breaks, that's not the moment that you want to start asking the questions. You should be asking those questions now. When something breaks is the moment that you want to already have the answers. And if you want to know more about home membership, make sure you go to homemembership.com, where you can find all of your answers to all of the questions that you have and look at the coverage chart and see exactly what's covered and what's not covered. Please check out homemembership.com today.